as you make and post content, you will intuitively learn. You'll learn from other people and you'll study things to help you learn. And there's all kinds of things you can watch and read. But as you find your way, you will learn what people respond to from you, and you will collect, if you will, or connect with people who get your vibe.
Is the show for me and you, the one you love to listen to, and ooh, you got your friends, see it through. See, 'cause laughter is medicine too.
Hello, my name is 𝐥𝐤𝐤 Edge, and this is The Edge Show.
Hey, I'm Wendy Love Edge. This is season 7, episode 17, Social Media. The opinions expressed by our guests may not be those of Edge Productions. How you doing today, Angela?
I'm doing great. I got a lot done.
Oh, well, that's
In
good.
preparation for you coming home, I'm trying to clean the house.
I appreciate that.
I haven't really worked on my office yet, so it's a good thing you all can only see this little box.
Well, if you could see the rest of this room, I don't even know what to say about it. There's a lot of stuff in this room that I've been staying in. Stuff that I have to pack
get
up.
all that stuff in your car.
I'm going to have to pack up real soon. Mm-hmm.
You should start on it tonight, like I did, and do a little bit at a time.
I would, but after I finish this show, I have to get all dressed up as 𝐴𝐚𝐽𝐿 for an event that's happening for Halloween from the Cannabis Art Guild. So I always have this packed life, and I don't know when I'm going to pack.
That's very punny. Good job.
Isn't it, though? I think Flint, our editor, will really enjoy that.
Yeah, he'll really enjoy that one. So today's show, we're talking about social media.
We are. And yeah, I have kind of sometimes a love-hate relationship with it. You know, it's kind of, I enjoy it and have been building social media for a while now.
Yeah, and then you kind of backed off a little bit.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, being seen and heard so much, sometimes you need a little break. And so I tried to kind of back up a little bit. Also, I, you know, was preparing to work in a mainstream kind of job. And I thought, oh, I'll reduce my online presence a little bit as I interview and prepare for that.
Yeah, how'd that work for you?
Well,
because it doesn't really go away, your online presence. Once it's out there, it's just kind of there, right?
It's there. Yeah. Yeah. I learned something today that I couldn't believe it. It turns out one of my employees apparently Googled me as she was starting her job, and she's a new graduate. She didn't really like what she saw. Apparently.
And you just found this out today?
I just found it out. And, you know, I have a good relationship with her. She ended up leaving for other reasons. But I was really shocked that she told other employees, you know, she said, do you know who that rehab manager is over at that place?
So I'm just trying to figure out, like, what did she not like about your online presence? Like your political views, cannabis?
It's hard to know because I just learned this today. What? I don't know. It could be any of those things, right?
You'd never know today because any of those things just like by themselves could have thrown her off. So.
Right. Each one of them could be a problem for someone. You know, I always say I'm like a bunch of minorities rolled into one, you know. So I don't know. But it really surprised me because the reason I tried to step back a little bit is I was worried about employers, not employees.
Yeah. Huh.
It's interesting.
But your employers they found out about it too, and they were fine with it.
Right. So at that time, it turns out they found out about it, and their response was, we're in Massachusetts, number one, and number two, employees can do what they want with their off time,
Right. Wow.
Yeah. So, I think that it brings up a point though with social media. Think about what you're putting out there, what you're trying to accomplish, what your message is, and you really have to stand by what you put out there, because for the most part, once you put it out there, it's there, right?
Yeah. Yeah. At least like everything that you're involved with, you stand by it, and it's part of who you are, and there's really no reason to even like be worried about it. But I guess it takes all kinds.
Right. It's true. And, I think it's different, as a musician, what do you feel about social media? Cause, I think it can work for you. I think it has at times. I don't know. What are your thoughts about it?
Well, I deleted my Facebook profile during the pandemic. I just got really tired of Facebook. And to have a musician's page on Facebook, you also have to have a personal profile. Is that still the same?
I believe so.
It is. So I kept my musician's page for 𝐥𝐤𝐬 Edge Music and created another personal profile that was private. And I still feel kind of bad. Like some people I know will every once in a while like send me a friend request, but I like if I accept one, like I have to accept the other,
right?
And it just grows again, and that's not really what I want to be on there for. Like,
right?
I'm not on Facebook, but like once every 2 weeks to check my messages.
Sure. Interestingly, though, your music page has grown. Being in that position, I would think it might not, but it actually has grown more, I think.
Yeah, because once people get to know me, they realize they don't like me. so if I'm not, no, it's true. It's happened over the course of my career. Like once they realize what my political beliefs are, or
I see,
or that I'm an atheist, or just different things, then they realize that they're not really into me as a persona. So
so maybe it leaves that mystery
maybe
there.
But I am on Twitter now, and I use Twitter more as a news source though. So I don't know.
Yeah, well, each platform has its pros and cons, and you use each one for something different. But I do think that the mystery of not being able to interact directly with you on Facebook has helped to grow the business part of it.
I didn't even realize that, because like how you could have thousands of followers and still not make any money from it.
Well, that's true.
So I mean, no one's buying the music. So does it really help anything?
Goodness.
So Wendy, how do you like take it from followers to people that as an actual marketing plan to grow your business and profit from that?
Right. Well, I don't know the answer to that completely. I do think that as you develop a following that you interact with on a platform, and people start to really trust you and what you're putting out for content, it's possible to then, in a discerning way, sell products or have people sponsor or support what you're doing. And so I think for me, that's kind of the way that I've gone with it. But it really takes a long time to build that without, without necessarily making money at it. I think many of the people who have large social media followings are not making money, and
No,
maybe
they're
they're not
not.
doing it for that purpose. I don't know.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, there's incredible musicians out there that are not making money online whatsoever. You have to tour.
Right.
And like I was in the middle of tour, like booking all these gigs, and then the pandemic happened.
Right.
And I kind of got thrown off my game. But yeah, I don't know. I think you're really good at that sales part of everything. And I just want to create. You want
Right.
to create too, but you're really good at both of those things. And I think it takes an overall, like you have to be good at all of it now. As an artist, you have to be able to promote yourself, you have to be able to create your whole brand. You have to be able to do marketing, you have to do promotions like with video.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do it
I
all.
think that can be true. Recently, we did a couple of live shows here in Massachusetts, and I was really shocked when one of the musicians who performed said, I asked him about social media, and he said,
Mhm.
I'm not sure. I have somebody who does all that, and
Yeah.
you know, he's a local guy, and I think that that's wonderful if you
That
can do
seems
that.
like it's rare though these days to have people, unless you're huge,
Right.
with a lot of financing behind you.
Right. Yeah, I think it can be difficult, you know, to be able to handle all aspects of it, especially if really in your heart you're a creator. We're talking about music or art,
Yeah.
and that's where you want to put your focus. So I understand that. Well, coming up next, some insights from my guest, Chris Gibson. Joining me now is skincare expert, holistic health coach, and esthetician Chris Gibson. He is the best-selling author of the acclaimed book Acne Free in 3 Days and has a very successful YouTube channel. Welcome to the Edge Show, Chris.
Glad to be here.
I'm so glad you're here because we're talking about social media today. And in fact, in our little talk before we started filming, I already was getting a little, had questions that need answering about what is in fact social media. You know, is YouTube considered social media? What are we talking about here?
It depends on who's using it and what the reason is.
Right.
For me, I consider it a social media platform because I go in and do very specific types of videos for a very specific type of audience, which is generally true of every platform. So, for instance, skincare and beauty, which is the I guess niche that I'm in, the larger version of it, you know, that has a very solid footing on Instagram and a very solid footing on YouTube.
And, you know, I had the opportunity to take a look at your channel, which is amazing, by the way. And I was thinking, yeah, skincare, you know, people are really interested in that, right? But not everyone builds a channel to 170,000 followers, right? So
Sure.
what do you think sets you apart with your channel that brings so many subscribers and views?
I built a catalog. From the very beginning, I knew I needed to build a really good catalog. So I mean, everybody wants to grow fast on YouTube. You know, you hear the stories of the people who overnight sensations, which is a blessing and a curse, actually, when you get into this and learn about all of this. So I really concentrated on making the very best videos I could. When the channel began to get traction, because I had taken the time to do that, I had videos take off and go viral that were a year or two old. So, in fact, one of them was a holistic health video on moles, warts, and skin tags, which there are holistic, you can buy things in the store, but there are holistic ways to handle those. And I'm a holistic esthetician. That's my background. And that thing took off, and I thought, great, I'm going to be known as the wart guy on YouTube. That's going to be my claim to fame.
That's hilarious.
That's what's going to be. And oddly enough, when the video editor took that long form content and turned it into TikToks and Reels for me this year, they took off on TikTok.
Really?
That's a topic that works very well on TikTok. So, my point in that being, because I took the time to make some quality content, I'm able to repurpose things.
So it sounds like there really aren't shortcuts. You have to put in the work, create quality content, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you do comedy or you do music, a lot of musicians that become famous from YouTube, that's a different situation. But if you're building a platform of, how to, or teaching something, hobbies, there's just so much competition and I knew that already from the book industry, so that didn't really bother me as much. I think a lot of people are shocked when they sit down and think about the numbers of people that they're getting. I have 170,000 subscribers, and of course, and that's a lot. It's in the top less than top 1% of all YouTube.
Wow.
That pyramid gets really
congratulations. That's amazing.
But then there are people in my niche that have 4 million, 5 million subscribers. So it's really, you just wonder. You could literally wake up on any of these platforms and have something you put out have gone viral, and it can completely change the game for you overnight. I wanted to be prepared in case that happened.
Sure.
So I always say, maybe because I was so prepared, it didn't happen that way as quickly. I have four videos over 1 million views. And for a channel like mine in that niche that has that many subscribers, to be able to accomplish that on those videos, did that on their own through search on YouTube and through being able to keep a viewer on there and interested and being helpful. That's pretty amazing. I'm proud of that.
Yeah, you should be. If someone's kind of just getting started, what are a couple of pieces of advice that you would give so that they don't make some of the common mistakes and, can kind of start off on the right foot?
Yeah, like anything, a commitment. Your videos may not be, and this is posting on any of these platforms, it's a commitment. Because what happens is, if you make that commitment, whether the video gets the views or the post gets the views and the likes or whatever, or the followers, if you make that long-term commitment, and I did, I said, I don't care how long this takes, this is what I want to do. I know this is what I want to do. As you make and post content, you will intuitively learn. You'll learn from other people, and you'll study things to help you learn. And there's all kinds of things you can watch and read. But as you find your way, you will learn what people respond to from you, and you will collect, if you will, or connect with people who get your vibe. So I always say, you think of it this way. Do I really want, because there are channels that have 4 million subscribers. I just hit 25,000 followers on Instagram, which for me, that's pretty big. That's for me. Is it better to have 4 or 5 million with super low engagement of 1 to 2%, which I see on a lot of these large channels? They've collected a lot of people, but they're not watching them anymore because they're not getting much more views than I do. Or do you want to have a couple 100,000? Everybody wants that 100,000 because, of course, you get the thing to put on the wall for that, the mark on the chart for that, that are really super engaged with 4, 5, 6%. And so brands, when you start talking about how to make money at this, brands have started looking at that. That maybe just because, what am I getting? It's 4 million subscribers and they're going to put a video out, but if they get 22,000 views on the video and this guy over here has got a couple 100,000 or 100,000 or even 50,000, but they're super engaged and he gets, 80, 90,000 views on his videos, that's where the value is for them. So it's changing a little bit.
I think you're absolutely right. The engagement is what we're after. Sure, lots of views are nice, but when people actually ask questions, engage, share it, then you realize that they're really, really interested in what you have to say and what you're putting out there.
Right. And then you pick a platform and you can repurpose a lot of your content. So you can still work. It's, I always say, and this was the advice I got from very large YouTubers in the beginning, and it was very helpful. Focus on one platform and get your head around it. Get it, understand it, get it to work for you. That doesn't mean you have to be a 50,000, again, really understanding how to make that work, and then where you can put out content on a very consistent basis. Then start focusing on your other pieces. And I've just done that, and I've been doing this for 4 years. So we're just now putting out reels all the time on Facebook and on Instagram. And I've always done the personal stuff, but now I'm picking brands that they don't have a relationship with me. It's a product I tried. If I like it, I do a Wednesday night skincare post on Instagram.
Nice.
This is what I'm using. It's just a picture. And people love that stuff. And they, then they go look at the channel and go, oh, this guy's got a background. He knows how to formulate skincare products. So I get subscribers that way. But the biggest thing for me, and it's not going to be the same for everybody, is when people get helped. So the feedback, people come back and they say that really helped me, or my skin looks great, and it helps that I'm older and I've been doing this, and I am visually, I don't look my age because of my, I'm going to be 59 in March.
Oh,
so
you're a year older than me. There you go. Yeah. Yes.
We're not old. That's not old, but but for the people who have not taken the best care of their, they've got a lot of sun when they were younger, stuff like that, or just the confusion level of what to use. And should I be spending that much money on something? Is a drugstore brand as good as 𝐥𝐤𝐤𝐬's brand? What is all of that? So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I feel most happy when someone contacts me and says, what you presented or what you had to say really inspired me, or the information really helped me to improve my health, or whatever it happens to be. So I'm right with you on that. To me, that's success, Yeah.
That's a feel good out of it,
Yes, definitely. Well, how can people get in touch with you if they want more information?
So, it's very easy. My YouTube channel, all of my contact information is under every single video. So I always say that's really the easy one. You can type my name in the search bar and I'm right there. You can't miss me. And then, for questions for business stuff, there's an email address. I also have a blog of skincare is your thing. Other than the YouTube channel, it's called Skin So Fabulous. Again, a link is under every video, but that is a dynamic group. It's like a Facebook group that's not on Facebook. So people can actually direct message me, catalog videos a little differently than YouTube does over there to make it a little easier to find by topic, because YouTube can be a little, because they're suggesting all the content.
Right.
So on that particular, on my blog / community, if you go to a topic, it's all my stuff. So that they find that very helpful. So I'm easy to find. Chris Gibson Friends on Facebook, on Instagram. Easy.
Thank you so much for joining me.
Sure, absolutely.
I'm Dr. Brian Nichol, your cannabis expert for CannabisExpertMD.com with a cannabis pairing for the Edge Show. This week we decided to go with the movie. I selected 2011's 𝐿encolliah. This is directed by Lars Van Trier, stars Kristen Dunst, Charlotte Gainsborough, and Kiefer Sutherland. Now, it's a movie that really kind of sums it all up in the title. 𝐿encolliah is the old school term for depression, and that's what it kind of addresses. No matter what state of life you are in, no matter how much privilege you are subject to and have money, depression, it affects the individual and the individual's entire family. Now, the movie really is about the impending annihilation of Earth. There is a planet called 𝐿encolliah that's orbiting around in the universe. It's supposed to make a very close call by Earth. Will cause some electrical changes and atmospheres, things, but it'll pass harmlessly off into space. But as is often the case, the authorities are wrong. Now, this movie, it does have absolutely breathtaking cinematography in this. It's also paired with Wagner's Tristan and Isolde. Now, that is opera score. Really, it's a perfect match for this, since the opera deals with human longing and suffering. Kind of goes right along with the topic of this movie. Now, obviously, this is not an uplifting, fun movie. It's one that you're either going to like or you're going to hate and be bored with. I didn't really pick it necessarily just to do a cannabis pairing with. I did to kind of highlight the whole idea of depression and melancholia and how cannabis may be used to treat that. So I selected based on the cannabinoid and terpene profiles available to me, as I always do. Natural State Medicinals White Wedding. Oh, a good choice too, as the movie does feature a wedding right at the start. It is potent at 19% THC. What do you think about CBD there? Yes, thank you. Trace CBD is present. Looking at the terpenes as we always do, it is potent at 2.2%. It is heavily beta-caryophyllene dominant at 1.0%. Humulene, myrcene, and limonene, they're all tied right at about 0.3% each. There is linalool and pinene right at about 0.12% each, and just a hint of terpinolene, enough to count at 0.06%. Now the THC, that does help with depression, as does the beta-caryophyllene. It really does help relieve depressive symptoms in a lot of patients. The limonene, now that is going to decrease any anxiety people are having. It might give you a little bit of a mood lift to get you out of the basement, so to speak. The humulene, it will help a little bit with appetite control if you tend to overeat when you're depressed. And it will combine with the myrcene and the linalool to give a nice, relaxing, chill kind of experience to the whole thing. There is enough pinene in there to give a bit of energy and focus. It shouldn't cause issues for people that do have pinene issues as far as anxiety goes. So White Wedding. Now, this would be something to consider if you're going through your own melancholic times. Always remember that whatever you're doing on earth, you need to enjoy it here while it lasts. Big take-home message from that movie. Even if it seems like the entire universe is out to get you. For more information on all things medical cannabis, be sure to check us out on CannabisExpertMD.com. We're also available on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter under Cannabis Expert MD.
Well, we love it when you listen or watch The Edge Show on any platform. If you're watching on YouTube, though, please hit that subscribe button, like, and comment. Thanks so much. Well, that was great from Cannabis Expert MD, of course, as usual, and some great insights from Chris Gibson as well.
Yeah, it sounds like you all had a good time.
Yeah, I think so. I think, it's really important, some of the things that he said, especially about providing really great content and building your channel a little bit at a time. Over time, you have subscribers who really interact, and that's really what you want. Do
you think it's possible to leave social media behind and just be in the real world? As a business
the real
owner.
world, what? I think it's here to stay, and I think that we can all figure out how to make it work for us if we want to use it, especially if you're a business person or you're creating video or audio content. I think it's just learning how to make it work for you is really the road forward.
Okay. Where's that cabin we're going to move to? Off grid.
Remember going to the cabin with no internet service?
Yeah. Now they have internet service, though.
Oh,
it
yeah.
slowly started gradually creeping in.
There's probably really few places that you can go now where you're not going to be connected. But I think it's still possible if that's what you really want. But if you want to build your business, build your social media profile for some purpose, it's all there for you. And I think Chris gave us some really good tips.
Yeah, sounds good.
Well, have a great week, everyone. Bye. The Edge Show is sponsored in part by 131 Inclusion Gallery, Lindsay Camp with Synergy One Lending,